What led you to finally, led to the parting of ways between you and Vince McMahon? Because you ended up leaving the company. Of course, it was after a while. It seemed like you weren't getting a push. You and Ken Patera had a short-lived tag team there with a feud with Demolition, and then all of a sudden you were off the page. What was going on with that?
Oh man, I got to try and rack my brains around this one because it's been so long ago, and I got some real memory issues.
Sure.
Okay, Vince McMahon. Okay, here's what happened. In September 13th, I opened up a gym and was going to try and open up a gym, stay married, be with my dad's last living days, and my family. And I was so strung out on drugs, I tried to get clean. But back then, they didn't have the wellness program, and Vince should have had it back then because everybody was a drug addict. 90% of the WWF wrestlers were drug addicts and steroid guys, and the other 10% were lying. And that's the truth. And I haven't had one person ever come up to me yet and say in this lawsuit that I've lied about that, not one wrestler. So they know I'm telling the truth. I love my brothers and sisters. It's McMahon that needs to get out of the business. He's not good for the business.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see next Tuesday, June 30th, who wins and who loses, where the venue goes. But I wrestled. I quit for a while. Then all of a sudden he told me the night before Hulk Hogan was going to be at the grand opening of my gym, I had spent $50,000 to promote my gym. And he calls me up and tells me, well, Hulk isn't going to show up at your gym tomorrow if you quit me. And I was so strung out on drugs, I couldn't believe he was telling me that. I had probably $500,000 saved. I was okay at that time. I said, Vince, you know what my problem is. I'm done. He goes, nobody quits me. He goes, you come back and work to WrestleMania 4, tag up with Ken Patera, and you give me your word, and I'll let you have Hulk Hogan, or I'm not going to let him go. Well, I got $50,000 to $100,000, really $100,000 tied up in my gym, probably more like $300,000. So I make my word commitment. Hulk Hogan comes to my grand opening, but it goes a lot deeper than that. I can't talk on the phone, man. The reason why that'll come out later.
Sure.
But I go back to Vince, and I'm there, and for about 3 weeks, that's when I overdosed on the plane.
Okay.
You know, I was such a drug addict, I overdosed on the plane. That's when I almost died.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And about 3 weeks later, I had enough after another incident that I can't talk about. And that's it. And I didn't wrestle I wrestled 480 or 467 matches with Vince. And people say, well, why is Vince the one that you're going to sue? Well, I only wrestled about 500 matches. I wrestled about 1,000 matches in my career, so half my career was in the WWF. You're on a plane 5 days a week. You're zombied out. They give you Xanax to sleep on the plane. You wake up, you're like a zombie through the airport. You got to go to the hotel. You got to put your clothes on. You got to take a shower. You got to go to the gym. You got to tan. You got to eat. You got to get to the arena. You got to dress down. You got to wrestle. You got to talk to your partner. You got to shower. You got to do it again. Repeat, 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 to the point to where you're a zombie.
Mm-hmm. You're on that hamster on the wheel.
Yeah. Good analogy, man. Yeah, that's good.